guys, it's Jonah here, and it's time for a beer review. And this one is, yeah, it's a bit weird because I've had this beer, I'm sure I've had it before, but in a previous iteration. And I had a beer down the pub, the Royal Victoria Pavilion, the biggest spoons, we call it the mega spoons, in the country, down on Ramsgate Seafront, believe it or not. Massive place, cool. And they had Hobgoblin, the new style. Um, and I tried it and I put it on Untapped. And then I went down to the supermarket and I saw all the Hobgoblins are now not labelled under Wychwood because they're not Wychwood, of course, they haven't been for a while, but they've removed all of Wychwood from their propaganda, and they're brewed by Carlsberg, believe it or not. Carlsberg stroke Marston's. So it's going to be a different beer, different county, different part of the country, etc. Northampton, I believe this one is. We'll have a look, but this is the bad boy that we're having. Obviously, you saw it on the front of the video. Hobgoblin Dark Stout, 4.1% on the ABV. It's a 500 ml bottle. And this is the important bit. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, here we go. Produced by Carlsberg Marston's Brewery. Oh, it's Wolverhampton. Sorry, beg your pardon. Wolverhampton WV1. And it says, come on over to the dark side with our smooth jet black stout, tempting hints of coffee, cacao, sweet treacle, balanced with bitterness. Delicious, easy drinking stout. Could even warm your cold little heart. Interesting. Now, they've always had a unique selling point, and I love the label. You've got the bit, look, the offcut here, where the kind of axe and the elbow kind of stick out from the label, as opposed to that side flat. You have a neck chief, which no longer says Wychwood. They used to say Wychwood, obviously. You have this weird big crown cap puller thing on the neck, making it increasingly difficult unless you've got a proper press capper or a hammer capper. And look, it's got the Hobgoblin's face, which is not gonna focus. No. Well, it's a Hobgoblin face on there, and I believe that used to say Wychwood as well. So interesting. Totally changed the branding to the Carlsberg one, and because it's a bottle with a cap, I can use my new blade, which actually came to me from Whitstable Bay. Well, it didn't. It actually came from Shepherd Neame itself, but this is the Whitstable Bay branded one, which I thought was cool. Picked up some merch from them, so thank you very much to Shepherd Neame. Really cool. I like the fact that it's got a hole in it. Obviously, you can flip it around a bomb and do that all the time, but you can also stick it on the neck, which I think is quite cool. Anyway, let's get this bad boy opened. There we go. Straight from, you've got a bit of smokies coming out of there, which is always nice to see. Straight from the supermarché, Bon Marché, Rodney. There we go. Yeah, these bottles, actually, I don't know if you can see here, that says Hobgoblin. And I believe that used to say, on the old bottles, it used to say Wychwood. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure, because I've used these before, years and years ago, for my homebrews. And yeah, they were always difficult to cap. Right, we have a stout glass, because this is a stout. We'll go a little bit aggressive, but I don't know if it needs it, because it's, like I say, straight from the shop. Whoa. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have gone that aggressive. Never mind. At least it gives me something to look at. Look, two fingers head there. Right, let's get this bad boy correct. Knobgobbly dudes and thingy things. And we can do something like that. And it is that dark treacle kind of aroma. Bit malty and all that kind of jazz. Look, the head has dissipated already. We are now just over a finger's head, and that's probably going to go even more, but now that nice tan, what colour would you call that? Dark cream or a dark tanned cap? Quite large bubbles, so that's not going to stick around. Let me think, because there's a little bit left in there, so let me get that in. There we go. Boom. That is looking proper gorgeous. Looking fan-dabby-dozy. So, yeah, on the nose, we're getting treacle. We're getting malt. We're getting a bit of kind of dark fruit, perhaps sort of raisiny type things. Coffee, not so much. Not for me, anyway. What else did they say was in there? Oh, I'm on the Hobgoblin website, and there were a couple of things that I wanted to bring to your attention. Yes, that's right. The hops used in here, and I thought it was probably only one, but no. They're using Challenger Goldings. Hopefully that's East Kent Goldings. Fuggles as well, and Sovereign hops. So, yeah, Goldings and Fuggles together, always good. Cheers and beers, guys. If you're liking things already, why not click like this video? It does help the channel out. If you haven't liked it and you're still watching, thank you very much for hanging about. But I'm going to be drinking now, so move along, move along. Nothing to see here. Come on. Oh, rich. There's a lot more fruit. Getting a bit more kind of red fruit there. Bit of spice. There's definitely a bit of gnarly barley. Gnarly barley? Yeah, a bit of kind of that burnt oak or burnt malt essentially, but it's giving it that kind of slightly burnt thing, but that's just in the background. Bit about like charcoal, not like roast coffee though, in my opinion. Apparently there's coffee there, but no. Maybe, yeah, maybe chocolate, bitter chocolate, the dark gnarly chocolate, but yeah, coffee, not so much. Oh. Interesting, because it's got quite a light texture to it, a light mouth feel, but there's also at the same time a bit of creaminess there, which is giving it, I'd have to say, yeah, see, maybe it's more of an average mouthfeel. It's not thick by any means, but there is something there. There is definitely something there. So I did originally say light. Maybe I'll go for the middle kind of ground now. At 4.1% ABV, it's quite light on alcohol too. Pardon me. Wow, it's well carbonated. I know that. But the same way as Guinness would be, for example. A lot of people think Guinness is a heavy beer, a dark beer, a strong beer. But no, it's very much the same as this. 4.1%, I think. Or maybe 4.2. Can't quite remember now. I'm sure it's 4.1. What, 4.1, 4.2, whatever. That's irrelevant. Around this strength. And I would say this beer is competing with Guinness. I've never seen this on a cask or draft even. I've never seen it. This could do quite well on nitro, I reckon, because it's got that creaminess there already, which would be quite nice. So it could theoretically compete like other beers do, and they are at the moment, compete directly with Guinness. Beamish, unfortunately, is very rare to find in the UK these days. You can get it in Ireland. In fact, is it brewed by Carlsberg themselves or is it Heineken? It's one of those two. Um, very much the same. Nice creamy stout. What's the other one? The new one, Forged. I think it's Conor McGregor and has some sort of dealing. You know, the cage fighter guy has dealings in stout, and why not? Because he's Irish, so you know, fair dues. This, on the other hand, it's a little bit more dry. So yeah, you're kind of bordering on oatmeal stout when you're having something like this, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing at all. Let's go in for some more. Ooh, I am actually liking that. Very, very nice. And I would say the branding of this, Hobgoblin Dark, go on the dark side, all that kind of darkness, fits really well, really nicely with their branding. Look at that. I've even got some lines. They're not hanging around that much. It is not like a Guinness, and it's not. Looking at the back, you haven't got any massive amounts of lineage there. But on the front of the glass, you've got a little kind of line there. You've got a thick one there, and the one that I've just left. Be interesting to see what happens once I've finished the last bit of this this nice drink. I am actually very much enjoying this. And like I say, I think I pretty much had all of the Wychwood beers, the seasonal ones especially. I'm really hoping they keep some of the seasonal ones. You know, they used to do the Hatherwood series at Lidl's. So I haven't been to Lidl's lately, but I'm hoping they still do the Hatherwood ones because they were quite cool. They were basically the Wychwood seasonal beers, but you could pick them up most of the time. So what was there? There was a ginger one. There was the purple panther or python or something. Really interesting. Um, yeah, I'm very much liking this. I was hoping it wasn't going to be so good, but I'm pretty sure. Wow, pardon me. Um, I'm pretty sure I've had this a couple of times, and as it stands, this is equally good as when Wychwood made it. So I don't think they've changed the recipe, well, not that much. Um, and they're keeping lots of hops in there, which is really good to see. I think it's pretty damn good. Alas, I don't think the same can be said for the Hobgoblin itself, which is a real shame because I've had that in bottle recently and can, and I've had it in cask. Been spoilt for choice, but I don't think the current Hobgoblin is as good as it used to be. And they keep reducing the ABV as well. I think that's only four. I think that might only be 4% now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh. And I know the bottled version is different to the canned version, and that's different once again to the cask version. But there we go. That, if you see that in the supermarket. Oh, and by the way, I didn't tell you, but it was on offer, 4 for 3, and I think they were only £2, if I remember, or 2.20, something like that. So when you buy 4 of these, which I did, well, actually, I bought a couple of other Hobgoblin variants, and I'll do some reviews on those. Yeah, it goes to under £2 for a bottle, and that's not too bad in the current times. I really wish, dear viewer, it was pound a pint, But alas, not these days. Ah, such a shame. But anyway, there we go. There's another beer review down. It's a new variant, so I thought I'd come back to it. This has been Unclejona, drinking beers for your entertainment and all that kind of jazz. It's an old charter or something like that. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but don't fear, because I'll return with another beer review, and that's going to come up real soon.